Congressman, look, as I said, you have been in there pulling no punches. But I want to ask you a question that I don't think you've been asked. For the last several weeks, and maybe the last month, however long it's been, what was the most ridiculous thing that you saw play out among the Democrats in this impeachment, this nonstop impeachment effort on their part?
I think the Democrats' unwillingness to simply represent the facts accurately has been the biggest disappointment. You'll remember some weeks ago, Adam Schiff literally created a theatrical performance of the president's transcript, and it was really bizarre to the country. And then even this week, as we were having hearings, there are two Democrats who misquoted the president when they were talking about the transcript. When the president has always been acting in our nation's interest. And I think we proved that effectively by showing that he said, do us a favor, though our country has been through a lot. When he's talking about doing us a favor, he means our nation. And then he immediately says that we've been through a lot and that we deserve cooperation from an ally like the Ukraine to make sure that there's not the type of deep-seated corruption that would negatively impact our country. I'm grateful our president was doing that.
You know what? That's a good point. I mean, I don't think there was anything more absurd than, I don't know who was a Kaplan, whatever that professor is, who won't walk on the same side of the street as the Trump Hotel in Washington, where she said, well, that's the king saying I instead of we. I mean, the king's we. It's lunacy. But I mean, going forward, do you expect, obviously, next week that the House is going to vote to impeach?
I do. But we continue to see the impeachment movement losing steam. It's losing steam in the polls, in the votes in the Democratic caucus, and now you literally see Democrat members jumping ship and leaving the party altogether.
Yeah, Jeff Van
because,
Drew.
The impeachment strategy is the all-in strategy for Democrats. It's not something you can really do halfway. So rather than working with Republicans to try to advance an America First agenda, Democrats are wholly obsessed with delegitimizing the president who won the election. And just a quick response to your open. If that IG report was in any way vindicating of Jim Comey, then the Bible vindicated Judas, because you saw over and over again the work of Jim Comey criticized and the bias reflected. And really, look, these aren't just small mistakes that were made. This is the alteration of evidence. This is committing a fraud before the court. If officers of the court behave the way Jay Comey did in your court, Judge, you'd hold them in contempt before you drop the gavel.
They'd be on the bus to Valhalla when I was a judge. But you know, one of the things that I don't think people understand is that Horowitz's job was to get the facts and not necessarily to draw a conclusion. And so nobody came out and said, yes, I hate Donald Trump. And he drew as a conclusion that because Strzok and Page were just two people out of the whole group of them who admitted hating Donald Trump, that couldn't possibly be the reason of all of them. It was kind of crazy, but that's...
Well, the Inspector General's report is one piece of the puzzle. Of course, the crescendo will come when we get the final criminal determinations from Mr. Durham, and he has far broader authority. But we all know how this story goes. Before Trump was elected, there was the insurance policy. After he was elected, it's pursuing impeachment without a basis.
All right. Got to take it back.